Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to game number 22 of the summer for the Hayes Larks. It's game one of a 4-game road trip out here in Colorado. It's between the Larks and the Fort Collins Foxes. Your Larks coming to this game 16-5 this season, 10-2 in league play. They're sitting in second place, just a half game back. A win tonight would tie them with the Liberal BJs for the Rocky Mountain Baseball League. Tanner Rice will lead things off for the Larks. It's the second baseman out of UTA. Fort Collins comes in this game 3-14 this summer. All games, league games, they're in 8th place, 10 games back from the BJs on an 8-game losing streak. Pitch number 2 to Rice will catch the zone, and Rice will work out of the counts. Rice had a hitting streak snapped in the last game, but we'll look to get back on track today. Larks running a 3-game winning streak. They won their last 2 league games and won 4 of their last 5 games. They just beat the Junction City Brigade on Wednesday, had our travel day yesterday, and got into town late last night. So it was about a 2-hour drive today to get to Fort Collins from the hotel. But we're here and we're ready for some Independence Day weekend baseball. This delivery sent high into right center field. Monsell and Atoll move forwards. Monsell is the one who makes the catch on the run in right field. 1 up, 1 down for the Fort Collins Foxes.
Center fielder number 8, Leo Juminian.
1 away for Leo Juminian as he steps to the plates. Getting a start in center field tonight, batting at the 2 spot in the order for the first time this season. On the mound for the Foxes is Jackson Lund, riding a 1-2 record through 6 appearances. This is his 7th and his 3rd start of the summer. 1 ball, no strikes here to the center fielder out of St. Lo, France. Lund has thrown 21 1/3, striking out 17, walking just 4. But the hits have been the thing for him, giving up 19 of those. Has 5 earned runs and has a 2.11 ERA, one of the better pitchers on the roster for the Fort Collins Foxes, and he fires in a strike here to Leo Juminian. 1-1 count, 1 away, bases empty in the top half of inning number 1. Juminian swings above this one, 1-2 rolls the counts. Larks faced the Fort Collins Foxes last year for the first time, and all games are at Larks Park. Juminian will pop one over to the right side to Jamison at the first baseline, and he'll record the out in the glove. Larks 4-0 actually against the Foxes last year. Again, all games are at Larks Park from July 10th to the 13th. 2 away for Lund as he'll face Terosian, the first time in his career. Lund, a Big Rapids, Michigan native, plays at Purdue Northwest and misses the zone here to the Hutchison Blue Dragon. Lund, a 6'1" righty out of the NCAA Division II ranks. 1 ball, 1 strike. Do it for the Foxes in the bottom of the inning. Fleckner, Atoll, Mata Lloyd. Nice pitch, but it ran inside. 2-1 count here to Terosian. Terosian has been one of the Larks' best hitters this summer and in recent memory, and he's been steady at that 3 spot all summer long. This is his 21st game as a Lark. He leads the team in games played and sends the 4th pitch of the at-bat out to play down to the left side. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs in the top half of inning number 1. No score. Larks looking for their 4th straight victory. Both teams rocking red unis tonight. Larks a lighter red, Fort Collins a darker red, almost maroon here out in Fort Collins. 2-2 home. Terosian continues to have a great 2-strike approach, and fouls went off. Has worked a lot of 2-strike hits this summer. He's picked up 24 hits so far for the Larks. 19 singles, 3 doubles, a triple, and a home run. On base percentage sitting at .467, The 2-2 home is going to be swung on a miss, and he will be struck out for the 17th time this season. 3 up, 3 down for Jackson Lund and the Fort Collins Foxes. Into the bottom half we go. No score here in Northern Colorado. Bottom of the first, Brady Rose will take over on the bump, making his 5th appearance of the season in his 2nd summer as a Lark. First pitch strike here from the southpaw, and he gets a second one right after it. 0-2 count to Henry Flecker, the shortstop. At Tufts University, he's a Western Massachusetts native. Rose misses his own for the first time today. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Rose, a Westminster, Colorado native, so he was back home for this game, not staying with the team at the hotel, but he's going to be back in his old stomping grounds as he gets a fly out here to right field at Terosian. We'll go to Tyler Atoll, the center fielder. Batting second in the order. He's out of Bates College. He's a LA native. Rose spent a few years at McLennan College, a JUCO down south, before staying down south to play for the Dallas Baptist Patriots. This was his first season there. He had a good year and helped the Patriots reach the NCAA tournament. 0-1 count after the foul ball. 1 away, bases empty in the second half of the first inning. Swing and a miss on a high fastball. 1 ball, 1 strike. 0-2 counts. Rose will be one of the better arms the Larks had this season. He's going to be big time for the Larks come NBC tournament time, especially with the loss of Larks righty out of the Netherlands, Luc Ter Beek. Pop fly will be just behind the infield. Rice takes a couple steps into the grass and gets the second out of the first inning.
Coming to the plate, second baseman number 6, Tyler Modeloy.
2 up, 2 down, just the way the Larks start as we go to Tyler Modeloy. Batting third in the order, getting the start at second base. Goes to Coppin State. He's a native of Fort Collins, so back in the hometown for the summer. As Rose will miss low on a fastball. Defensively for the visiting Larks, from left to right in the outfield, are Rawson, Jimini, and Terosian. Hutch getting another start at the hot corner. Ferenzi at shorts. Tanner Rice at second base. Cade Brown back at first base, and LaRue is tonight's backstop. 2-0 counts. Rose from the windup. He will get the first strike of the AB, catching the outside part of the plate. Lloyd thought it was out. Will chat with the umpire before getting back in the right-hander's batter's box. Rose over the plate and down the middle. Drops to the knees. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Do it for the Larks in inning number 2. LaRue, Dreiling, Hutchison, 4, 5, and 6 hitters. Rose from the windup, swing and a miss, strikes out his 10th of the season in his 7th inning in his second start. To the second we go, no score. Each team goes 3 up, 3 down.
But I have to be me, and everyone anger is misplaced, and I'm gonna tell you, don't hate me 'cause I get attention. Don't turn me into what I'm not. I have to be me 24/7, and I ain't never gonna stop. No, 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 no. No, 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 no. Oh, no, no, no. No, oh, oh, and I ain't never gonna stop. Come on. Listen to me. I've tried so many times to tell you this is as good as I can be. Why isn't it enough to be faithful and also be the hit of the party? Let's just break it down to you and me uptown, dancing all around till the disco ball pops. But I have to be me, and everyone can see your anger is misplaced, and I'm gonna tell you, don't hate me 'cause don't turn me into what I'm not. I have to be me 24/7.
Top of inning number 2, Tyler LaRue will lead things off for the Birds and working in a scoreless ball game. Catcher out at Houston Baptist at the cleanup spot in yet another game. Really has not wavered from that position. Sends a ground ball off the grass. It rolls to Jeffers at third base, and he will take it off his glove. And LaRue will reach on an E5.
Designated hitter number 33, Dylan Dreiling.
But he'll still take it as we go to Dylan Dreiling. Dreiling originally wasn't looking like he was going to be able to play in this road trip. We were going to wait a little bit longer with the injury, but he recovered faster than we thought he would and played in the Larks' last game and is back in the order tonight at the 5 spot again as the DH again. 1-0 count here. Larks already have a southpaw up in the pen. Really, no pitcher has gone super long in outings this year. It's kind of been 3 innings at the most, with a few gone above that. Larks liking to keep their arms fresh. 2-0 count here to the DH out of Hays, Kansas. LaRue, the Texas native, gets his lead at first base. And Lund goes from the stretch, misses inside. The ball gets away from Irvin. He ditches the face mask as LaRue moves up 90 feet. He's in scoring position at second base. Larks win 1-2-3 in the first inning on a flyout, pop-out, and a strikeout. LaRue just reached on an error and is standing at second base. Hutch on deck, Brown in the hole for Hayes. Larks fans, you can see the socials on your screen, YouTube, Twitter, and Facebook. Be sure to check them all out. Like, follow, and subscribe to stay up to date with all things Larks baseball all summer long. Nobody out, runner on second in the top of the second. No score here from Fort Collins. Trailing waits on Lund, who will get set, looks at LaRue, offsets his front foot, goes from the stretch and will miss. For the 4th time in the AB, it's a 4-pitch walk for Dylan Dreiling, and he will be the second base runner of the day and of the inning. Walk number 9 this season in his 16th game. The Larks had now walked 104 times this summer. Lund has now just given up his 5th walk and his 22nd inning on the bump. It's 1-2. This is his 7th appearance on the rubber for the Foxes this summer. His last outing was against the Denver Cougars on last Saturday. Threw 9 innings in the start and got the loss. Allowed 8 hits, punched out 7, no walks, 5 runs scored when he was on the mound, but only 1 of them was earned. That's a tough outing to give your team a complete game and only have 1 earned run and still get credited with the loss. Dreiling at first base, LaRue at second, Hutchison at the plate. Lon takes a couple looks at LaRue and will get his second strike of the inning, or of the at-bats. 0-2 here to Palmer Hutchison. He was batting 6th in the Larks' last game. That was on Wednesday. And in the effort, he went 0 for 3 with a walk. Larks won 4-1 against the Junction City Brigade. In their last game, Garrett Gruhl hit a big 2-run home run to really put some insurance on the lead. Hutchison flies this one out to right center field. Tall, the center fielder, will get it. Have a nice throw to third base, but LaRue's able to get in safely. Runners on the corners with 1 out.
First baseman, number 28, Cade Brown.
335 in left corner, 352 in left center, and then 378 straight away, 352 in right center, and then 335 in the right corner. Symmetrical field, deepest part of the ballpark, 378. So a little bit more home run friendly park than in Larks Park, where it's 405 straight away. Cade Brown to the box. Back in the order. Not playing the Larks' last game. 1-0 count to the first baseman out of the University of Oklahoma. 2-0 count to Brown. Brown, a second-year Lark. He's appeared in 13 games as a hitter this season with a few additions of that on the mound. He's batting .316 with a .438 on base percentage. To a home, he's swinging, he sends it into center field. A tall will make the catch and get the throw cut off by Fleckner, whose throw home isn't going to be in time, and Cade Brown will line into his sacrifice fly and pick up his 12th RBI of the season. LaRue scores for the 19th time this summer.
Left fielder, number 6, Hunter Ronson.
Larks up by 1 here in the second with Dreiling at first base and 2 outs. Brown now with 19 RBIs on the season, and Hunter Ronson will be hit and sent to first base. Dreiling moves up to second. 2 on, 2 outs, and a 1-0 ball game in favor of the Larks. Sixth batter of the inning, it's Ben Ferenzi, the Melbourne native, getting the start at the bottom of the order and at shortstop. 2 away, 2 on. Larks looking to bring Dreiling home from seconds. Larks reached on an air to start the inning, and then Dreiling walked. Hutch flew out, got LaRue to tag up and head to third, then Brown lined into a sacrifice fly to drive him in, then Ronson was just hit by the pitch. First time this summer, Ronson's been hit the 28th hit by pitch for the Larks. That pitch really close to the zone, but didn't get the call in favor of the Foxes, so Ferenzi will go up 2-0 with the counts. Nice pitch. Looked like it was going to hit Ferenzi, then took some late breaking action, caught the inside corner. 2-1 counts here. Ferenzi out of the lineup on Wednesday. Back in it today in his 17th game with the Larks. And he sends one off the face mask of Irvin the catcher. And he appears to be all right, so we'll go 2-2 with the count. Hupfer in left, Atoll in center, Monsell in right for the Foxes. Infield from left to right, Jeffers, Fleckner, Modeloid, Jameson, and then Irvin behind the dish with Lund on the bump. And back-to-back line-outs, or line drives off of Irvin's face mask, but again, he's all right. It falls off again, and the count stays 2-2. Rice waiting on deck, looking for his second at-bat of the ball game. Leo Jimeni in the hole. Two home. Struck into left field. Hupfer runs in. Will slide and come up with the catch. What a play by him out in left field to end this top half of the second inning and rob Ben Ferenzi of a base hit. Larks have a more productive inning than they did in the first, where they went 1-2-3. They get the first run of the day and will take a 1-0 lead to inning number 2 in the bottom half. Bottom of the second, Rose back to the mound. Fires a first pitch ball here to the cleanup man, Henry Jameson. Two balls, no strikes here in Rose's second inning in his 5th appearance of the summer. Worked a 1-2-3 first, and this one will be fouled off through 2-1. Rose's last appearance was last Sunday in Dodge, through 1 inning in relief. No hits, 1 walk, no runs, striking out 2. 2-2 counts for the man in his second year with the Larks. Pitched in 2020 and then had a deep run with McLennan in 2021 where they won the JUCO World Series, and then threw enough there that he didn't need to play summer ball, so he didn't come back, and he's back here for the second time. Off speed, inside, full counts. Jeffers on deck, Lund in the hole. Fox is working without a DH tonight. Payoff pitch from Rose is going to be in the left-hander's batter's box, and he will walk his 4th of the season.
Third baseman, number 5, Connor Jeffers.
Brings us to Connor Jeffers out of Northeast Nebraska Community College. He's a Denton, Texas native. And this is Rose's second start of the season. His 3rd as a Lark. His last starts was against the BJs in Liberal in the second game of the doubleheader. Went 3 innings in the starts, 1 hit allowed, no runs, 2 walks, striked out 2. Looking for his first punch out of the second inning after striking out the last batter of the first inning. Season high strikeouts is 3. That was against the Denver Cougars, where he pitched a 1-2-3 inning and struck out the side. 1-1 home, swung on and missed. 1-2. Rose gotten a few swing and misses on the night. He is one of the highest swing and miss rates on the Larks roster, getting swings and misses on about 20% of his pitches. 1-2 home. With a runner at first and nobody outs, it is going to be in the zone for a called strike. 1 strikeout swinging, 1 strikeout looking for Rose today. Number 11 on the year. Larks up 1-0 as we go to Jackson Lund, who is the starting pitcher for the Fort Collins Foxes today and is going to be at the plate. Hitting for himself, Larks working with the DH tonight and Dylan Drowning, so Rose doesn't have to worry about hitting. At Purdue Northwest, he appeared in a few games at the plate. No hits in 11 at-bats, scored 1 run off of a walk, striking out 4 times. The liner sent to the backstop, 0-2. Lund's 9th game as a hitter for the Fort Collins Foxes. He's batting .250 this summer. Has picked up 4 hits in 16 at-bats. Rose looks at the runner at first, goes home, gets another swing and a miss in the inning. This one a pitch that was outside, covering an ugly swing from Lund, and he will be the second straight strikeout victim for Brady Rose. 2 away with the runner at first. Larks on a 4-game road trip will be in Boulder tomorrow to take on the Collegians, then back at the Rough Riders on Sunday, and then we'll head to the Colorado Springs on Monday to take on the Outlaws. Go back to Hayes Monday night, off day Tuesday, and Dodge on Wednesday, and then we'll have one more road game after that, but then it's really just going to be a lot of games at Larks Park to end the year. 1-0 count to Dylan Irvin, who had a couple foul balls go off of him as the catcher in the top half of the inning. It's out at Henderson State. He's a Forney, Texas native. Rose another swing and a miss. 1-1 goes the counts. Rose made his debut of the 2022 summer through an inning against the Rough Riders. Gave up 2 hits, no walks, no runs, striking out 2. Foul ball, count moves to 1-2. One-two counts. Rose with some family in attendance. As we're back in his home state, and his delivery will be high and outside. 2 balls, 2 strikes goes the count. Do it for the Hayes Larks in the 3rd inning. Top of the order, Rice, Jeminian, Tarosian. Tarosian also with some family in attendance, and so is Rice, but those guys had a little bit farther of a journey than Brady's family did. Brady Rose, after allowing a leadoff walk to start the second, strikes out 3 in a row. Now has struck out 4 on the day through 2 innings, allowing just 1 base runner. To the 3rd we go. Hayes up 1-0. third inning out here at Fort Collins. Tanner Rice will lead things off. He flew out to Monsell to start the game and is looking for his first hit. Mesa, Arizona native goes up against the Michigan native and has a first pitch called strike against him. One's third inning of work, giving up no hits through the first two. 1 run scored, but it was unearned. Had a walk in the same inning and left 2 on base. This one will go into right center field, and the Fort Collins Foxes will make another diving catch as it will be caught by Attell, but then when he came to the ground it popped out of his glove, but now he's arguing that when he was pulling it out of his glove to throw it when it came out. Rice is standing at second base. It would have been a tough play regardless, whether they give him the hits or an out. Isaac Weinberg, the head coach of the Foxes, out of the dugout to contest it. Fort Collins fans not happy with the call, and the home plate umpire looks pretty adamant about his decision, talking to Weinberg. Larks have Frank Leo back in the third base coaching box for the first time since we were at home last Saturday and dealing with an illness. Missed the 2 games in Dodge and was back in the dugout for the Larks last game, but not coaching third as he wasn't quite 100%, but he looks good to go here in Colorado. It's his 40th summer with the Larks. First base coach Andy Luton in his first summer with the team. Weinberg, the head coach of the Foxes, is a former player for Fort Collins and is now the one in charge. Continues to plead his case as umpire doesn't look to back down from his decision. Jeminian waiting on the call at the plate. He'll be the next batter, and now the umpires will confer. They'll go out and chat. It sure looked like he had the ball as he went down to the ground, and then it popped up a little bit later than it would if it just had been a dropped ball. So, but I also wanted to see Tanner Rice be given a hit, so we'll see what happens. And Rice will be safe at first base on a single, and the umpires get booed from the Fort Collins fans pretty quick. So leadoff base hit for Tanner Rice. Rice back in the hit column for the first time since the 28th. Runner at first, nobody outs. In the top half of the third, Jeminian at the plate. He popped out to Jamison in foul territory in inning number 1. So one kicks up some dirt as it hits the glove. 1-0 goes the counts. All dirt and grass field at Fort Collins. One of the few of the Larks that have played at this season that's built that way. And probably the nicest part the Larks have played at in Colorado this summer. Line drive and a leaping effort from Monta Lloyd won't bring it in. And Jeminian will get the Larks' second hit of the inning, second hit of the day. Back-to-back base hits to right center field. Rosie at the plate. He struck out swinging to end the first inning. Rosie had a 5-game hitting streak snapped on the 29th. A 1 count to the right fielder out of Omaha, Nebraska. Sends one to left field. Hupfer keeps retreating. Shifts his feet quite a few times and shifts directions, but does come up with the ball. Larks record their first out of the third inning. As Tarosian will be out for the second time today. 1 away, 2 on for LaRue, who reached on an error in the second and came around to score. LaRue's 20th game this summer, driven in a team-leading 25 runs, scoring 19 times off of 32 hits. Second on the team in hits behind Austin Jaslov, who was not in the lineup card tonight, getting the day off. 1-0 count to LaRue as the Fort Collins Foxes mascot starts to prowl the grounds. One thing that Larks don't have is a mascot, so Slider, as the back of his jersey read, going out and interacting with the fans as LaRue will look to get aboard for the second time today. Loses his bat yet again, sends it out of the park, goes over the fence and close to the bathrooms over on the left side of the field. That's been a problem for him this summer. I don't know what it is, if his grip isn't there, if he doesn't get enough pints, or if he needs some new gloves. But when the bat's in his hands, he's phenomenal, batting .427 this summer with a .465 OBP. Frank Leo will give him his bat back after a kid tracked down out of the park. LaRue OPS sitting at 1.21. As a 1-1 counts, 1 away, 2 on, with Rice at second, Jiminian at first. Those are two fast guys on the base paths. Nobody holding the runners on. Lund looks at Rice, picks up his front foot and delivers home. LaRue sends this one sky high to the left side, but it's going to be foul. Had it been fair, it might have been trouble. Well struck. That left corner not too deep. 335 straight away to the left corner. Dryling on deck, Hutchison in the hole for the Larks. Great night for some baseball, not too hot. It's comfortable out with a slight breeze rolling in from the outfield as LaRue sends a pop-up behind the dish. Irvin loses the mask, is getting close to the fence, and one catcher will pop out to the other one. And that is the second out of the third inning. Not a huge crowd here at Fort Collins, but a loud one. Larks start off with back-to-back base hits, but then have been 0 for 2 in the last 2 at-bats. Dryling to the box, he walked in the second inning, and then got to second base, but was left there. He swings and misses at a nice pitch. 0-1 goes the counts. These two teams will meet later on in Hayes for a 3-game series at Larks Park. One just missed the outside high corner. 1 ball, 1 strike. It's the Larks' first time at Fort Collins. All 4 games against them were at Larks Park last year. The year before that, didn't see him, and then in 2019, Larks were in the Kansas Collegiate Baseball League, not the Rocky Mountain Baseball League, so 2 different leagues then. Scoreboard here at Fort Collins reads a 2-1 count. Dryling well struck to right field. It'll drop in front of Monsell. They will wave Rice home. Jiminian heads to third. The relay home is not going to be in time, and Dryling has an RBI single with 2 outs. Larks' third hit of the inning. They have runners on their corners and a 2-0 lead. Dillon's 18th hit of the summer and his 22nd RBI for a guy who's only played in 16 games. He is in second place with RBIs, just behind LaRue, ahead of Hutchison and Jaslov and Terosian. Well struck from Palmer Hutchison, but slows down the ground as Fleckner will pick it up and throw to first. Larks will leave 2 on in the 3rd inning, but Dylan Drowling picks up his 44th career RBI as a Lark and puts the Larks up 2-0 as we go to the bottom half. Bottom of the 3rd inning, Rose back to the bump. Fires the first pitch ball here to Jack Monsell, the right fielder. That's a nice fastball in the zone. 1 ball, 1 strike. Larks had hits from Jeminian, Rice, and Drowling in the last inning. Jeminian just put his hitting streak at 5 games. 2-2 count here. Nobody out, nobody on. It's the leadoff man of the 3rd inning. Monsell at the 8th spot in the order, and he will be Brady Rose's 4th straight strikeout. He struck out 4 of his last 5. 3 in a row have been swinging. Rose with family in attendance, just about an hour north of Westminster where he's from. Terosian has family in town who made the trip from Omaha, and Rice has family from Arizona in town, so the Rose family not have to travel nearly as far as the other Larks. And he gets a swing and a miss here out of Dylan Hupfer at the bottom of the order. It's a left fielder out of Fort Collins, Colorado. He's a native of, but he is a Fort Hays State Tiger, so when he goes back to Larks Park here in a week or so, he'll be back at his college stadium. 0-2 count. Rose looking for his 2nd strikeout of the inning. Struck out 14 on the season. He gets a ground ball to Rice, scoops it without any trouble, and throws to first in time for the 2nd outs. Rose, again, struck out 14 this season, is now at 42 career strikeouts for the Larks. Now through 27 2/3 in that career. Called strike 1 here to Henry Fleckner. We're back at the top of the order. 2 outs, base empty. Fleckner flew out to Jack Terosian to start off the offensive day for the Foxes. This one missed low. 1 ball, 1 strike. ground ball bounces once on some heat to Ferenzi, but he doesn't have any trouble with it at the shortstop spot, and Rose works his second 1-2-3 inning of the day, strikes out his 5th of this day, and will send us to the 4th inning. Larks up by 2. Top half of the 4th here in Fort Collins. We're moving at a good pace through the first 3. Larks have 3 hits, a walk. They scored twice and left 4 on. Only one of the 2 runs for Lund on the mound is going to go down as an earned run, as Brown will ground out to Jeffers at the 3rd base spot and start out the 4th inning after having a sacrifice fly in the 2nd. One away for Hunter Rawson, who was plunked in the 2nd inning and got a free base because of it. He's looking for his first hit of the day. Larks 4-0 versus Fort Collins last year. They won Game 1 against them, 12-2 in 7 innings, run rolling them back at Larks Park. Caden Brown started the game through 3 innings, striking out 3, and Hunter Rawson will drop one into right field. A nice hit for the tonight's left fielder out of Aledo, Texas. That is Rawson's 15th hit of the summer, his 12th single. Rawson has now put his hitting streak at 3 games. Larks get their 4th hit of the ball game. They have a runner at first with 1 away. Going back to that Colorado versus Kansas series back at Larks Park last year. The next game, Game 2, it was a 14-6 victory for the Larks over Fort Collins. Hutchison drove in 3 RBIs, and Brown had a home run. The Larks here in Fort Collins will get their 2nd straight single and have runners on 1st and 2nd. Ben Ferenzi now 1 for 2. Ben back in the hit column for the first time in a little while. 2 on, 1 out, top of the order in the top of the 4th for Tanner Rice, who's 1 for 2 in the day with a single and a run scored. Had that one hit to right center field, a tall slid forward, had it in his glove, and then when he came up, the ball popped out of his glove, and there was a lot of contest, and they ended up ruling it a single for Rice. Fly ball into center field. Rawson fakes a tag up and will go back to 2nd base. Rice's 2nd fly out of the day, 1 to right field, 1 to center field. Jimanian to the box. 1 for 2 in the day with a single. It was his 4th hit against Fort Collins in his career, after having 3 last year with 3 RBIs, 2 runs scored, and 3 stolen bases. A little early on this one, will ground it down the left field line, 0-1 with the counts. Rawson at second, Ferenzi at first. 2 outs here in the top half of the fourth. We're to the 2-hole in the order. Game 3 against Fort Collins last year was the closest one between them. Larks won 4-3. Brown appeared in his second outing over the course of 3 days, threw 2 innings in relief, gave up just 1 hit, no runs, striking out 2. And the victory for the Larks. Larks went up 3-0 in that game, then would sweep it the next day on the 13th of July. Hunter Parker got the start and went 9 innings, a complete game, shutout, striking out 5. Larks won at 8-0. Two on for Jiminian, looking for his second hit of the ball game. Jackson Lund will go home and get a called strike here. Trosian on deck. If Jiminian can extend the inning, he will ground another one over to the left side. Jiminian, the 5th batter of the inning for the Larks. Brown grounded out to start it. Ross and Ferenzi followed up with singles. And then Rice flew out. 1 ball, 2 strikes to Frenchie. Irvin sets up outside. Jiminian fouls it over the stands, over the press box, and out of the park. One-two count, 2 outs. Larks looking to bring Rawson home from second base. Irvin sets up outside again. 1-2 goes inside. He blocks it. It goes left. So does he. Scoops it up before Rawson or Ferenzi can advance. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, 2 on. And top out of the fourth, Larks up 2-0 after scoring a run in each of the last 2 innings. Lund takes a long look at Rawson, goes home. Jiminian chops one to the third base side. It will be fouling off the glove of Jeffers. Jiminian has fouled a few off to the left side in this at bat, but will stay alive. Deal for Fort Collins in the bottom half of the inning. 2 through 4 hitters. A tall Lloyd Jamison. Lund looks at Rawson again, goes from the stretch. Jiminian pops one up to the middle of the field. Fleckner will move from shortstop, go past second base and a little bit into right center field, and the Larks will leave 2 on the base paths. They've now left 6 on through 4 innings as Jiminian pops up to the shortstop. And to the bottom half we go. Larks go scoreless for the first time since the first. Bottom 4, Rose will get a first pitch strike to Tyler Hutchison, who we got to pop up to Rice for the second out of the first inning. He's 0-4 on the day. Down the count to Rose, delivers home. Fastball swung on and missed. 0-2 goes the count. Game 1 of a 4-game road trip. You can catch all games right here on Larks Network. As Rose strikes out another one on the day.
Second baseman, number 6.
That is his 6th. One away as we go to Henry Jamison, who's the lone guy to reach against Rose today. He walked in the second inning, but then Rose shook it off and struck out the next 3. Brady delivers home another fastball that swung on a miss. Fort Collins really struggling with his heater today, and really just against Rose in general here on this Friday evening in Fort Collins. Rose has a good tempo on the mound, doesn't waste time between pitches, throws this one in quick. 1-1 is a missed above the letters. Rose 1 strikeout in the first, 3 in the second, 1 in the third, now 1 in the fourth. And now he's 1 strike away for another one as he pops this one up over to the right side. 1-2 count, 1 away, base is empty. And the bottom half of the fourth, Fort Collins scoreless. Larks have put up a couple of runs on the board. Late on the swing here is Monta Lloyd, who fouled over the right side. Monta Lloyd was the first strikeout victim of the day for Brady Rose. His 10th of the season, and was the last out of the first inning. Rose worked a 1-2-3 first and worked a 1-2-3 third. He's retired 7 in a row. Will miss slow here. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Larks in Boulder tomorrow. First pitch 5:30 Colorado time, 6:30 Central time, Hayes time. And against the Rough Riders on Sunday, 4:30 Mountain Time, 5:30 Central. And we'll take on the Outlaws on Monday for the last game of the road trip. First pitch, 12 p.m. Mountain Time, 1:15 Central Time. 2-2 home. It's a fastball outside. Monta Lloyd working a good at-bat here. Works it into a full count. Monta Lloyd at a Coppin State. Going up against the Dallas Baptist Patriots. Payoff pitch home, sent to the backstop, and we will get another one. Larks have a few guys standing in the pen, one of them Jackson Halter, the catcher. But nobody is throwing up there. Larks rocking with Rose today as he's worked a very good first 3 and a third. Rose home, swung on a miss, second straight strikeouts, and he is retired 8 in a row. So despite only pitching and now 9 2/3, he is rising up the leaderboard for Larks strikeouts so far this summer. His 18th. That puts him at 3rd place. The 2 guys in front of him have pitched over a combined 13 innings more than Rose. Swing and a miss here. 0-1. Rose had the second best strikeout per 9 innings rate back in 2020 for the Larks, sitting at 13.26. And was tied in 3rd for the strikeouts with 28, despite pitching a combined 28 2/3 less than the pitchers in 1st and 2nd. And he is up at the count again, refusing to give the batters of Fort Collins anything. Henry Jamison at the box is the lone guy to reach against Brady Rose. The Bate College righty walked in inning number 2 and will send a pop fly into right center field. Terosian will be the one who calls off Jiminian and Rice. Back-to-back 1-2-3 innings for Brady Rose, and he has gotten his last 9 retired and has gotten 12 of the 13 he's faced out today. Top of the 5th, we're at the 3-hole in the order. Jack Terosian will lead things off here in the 5th inning of action. Lund still on the mound, has given up just 1 earned run through 4 innings, and his first pitch of the 5th flown into center field. Terosian now 0 for 3. On the way, base is empty for Tyler LaRue, who's 0 for 2 in the day. Popped out to Irvin behind the plate in the 3rd. Reached on an error from Jeffers in the 2nd and came around to score the opening run of the ball game. Larks up 2-0 against Fort Collins here in Fort Collins. 2 completely different seasons for the teams so far. Larks 16-5, Fort Collins 3-14. The Larks have outscored their opponents 197-93. The Foxes have been outscored 158-99. A 1 count here to the catcher out of Houston Baptist. 1-1 goes as counts. Patriotic here for Independence Day weekend in Fort Collins. A few flags on the walls and on the fence, but then the chalk be in the outfield on the left and right field lines is our red, white, and blue stripes, and same with the chalking of the third and first base's coaching box with a few stars behind the plate. You can kind of see them on your screen now, but Fort Collins dressing it up here for the holiday weekend. 1-2 count to LaRue above the letters. 2 balls, 2 strikes to the cleanup hitter. Driving on deck, Hutch in the hole for the Larks. He's up 2-0, scored a run in innings 2 and 3, scoreless in innings 1 and 4. Lund looks home, will go from the stretch, and the delivery is going to be pumped again. LaRue looking to hope it drops and not pop up for the second time today, but he will, this time to Monta Lloyd, and he is now 0 for 3. Kind of reminiscent of Larks Park when you see, look out beyond the outfield fence and you see people set up on the dike. There's quite a few Fort Collins fans bringing their lawn chairs and setting up behind the fence. Here at Fort Collins, it's a see-through chain fence, so go out, don't have to worry about sitting in the stands, and kind of a neat view of the game. 0-1 count here to Driley, who's been aboard in his 2 plate appearances today. Walk in the 2nd inning, and then he singled in the 3rd inning. Off speed outside. 1-1 count to the Tennessee commits, who drove in a run with that single in the 3rd inning. Skies it into center field. Mattel keeps moving back and will make the catch on the back pedal. Larks go 1-2-3 for the first time since the 1st inning and go scoreless for the 2nd straight. To the bottom half we go. Larks still up by 2. B. Rose back for the 5th inning. Has retired his last 9. Larks up 2-0. It's a 1-0 count here to Connor Jeffers, the third baseman batting 5th in the order. He's 0 for 1 today, struck out looking in the 2nd inning. Called strike over the outside part of the plate. 2-1 counts. Brady threw 4 innings, 7 strikeouts, no hits, 1 walk, no runs. Foul tip into the glove of LaRue. Evans, the catcher, having an off day. Larks only using one of their 3 catchers today. Halter and Evans given the day off. There's usually at least, seems to be 2 in the order, with LaRue being able to play at first base and the other guys being DHs, but in the meantime, we'll focus on the action at hand. Rose retires his 10th straight, strikes out his 8th of the day, his 17th of the summer. One away here for Jackson Lund, who struck out swinging in inning number 2. First pitch strike for Evans, or Rose, excuse me. I don't know why I keep saying Brady's name. Probably they're both Brady, so I mix up the last names, and the Larks will call to the bullpen here with a strike, and the base is empty. And that was Brady Rose's 60th pitch, so I'd imagine they were hoping to keep him at the 60 mark and not go over, but that will end his day. It's a good one. He strikes out 8 and leaves the Foxes off the board.
I've got something to say, you should hear it. Oh, I'm happy to make time for your feelings, but you have to admit I already do. Let's just break it down to you and me uptown, dancing all around till the disco ball pops. But I have to be me, and everyone can see your anger is misplaced, and I'm gonna tell you, don't hate me 'cause I get attention. Don't turn me into what I'm not. I have to be me 24/7, and I ain't never gonna stop. No, 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 no. No, 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 no. Oh, no, no, no. No, oh, oh. And I ain't never gonna stop. Come on. Listen to me. I've tried so many times to tell you this is as good as I can be. Why isn't it enough to be faithful and also be the hit of the party? Let's just break it down to you and me uptown, dancing all around till the disco ball pops. But I have to be me, and everyone can see your anger is misplaced, and I'm gonna tell you, don't hate me 'cause I get attention. Don't turn me into what I'm not. I have to be me 24/7, and I ain't never
Bottom of the 5th, Sam Hendon takes over for Brady Rose and gets a first pitch strike here to Jackson Lund, the pitcher, who is now working an 0-2 count. Larks pulled Brady Rose at 64 pitches actually, and not 60. The game changer just updated. Finishes day 64 pitches, 4 1/3 innings thrown, no hits, no runs, 1 walk, striking out 8, and retired his last 10. 1-2 count here for Sam Hendon. He'll go from the stretch. No swing here. The appeal down to first base goes in favor of the home team. It has been arguably the best arm that the Larks have been able to pull out of their pen. This is his 8th appearance without a start. Giving up just 1 earned run through 13 innings. Picked up a save in the last game against the BJs. And then through 2 innings against the A's in his last outing. And will help with the strikeout total for the Larks pitching staff and strike out Lund 2 away. Larks have struck out 4 out of the last 5. And they did that between innings number 1 and 2 as well. And then Rose struck out 4 straight from innings 2 to 3. 0-1 count, 2-away, bases empty in the bottom half of the 5th inning. Hendon delivers outside 1-1. Jackson Halter standing up in the pen with the catcher gear on. But nobody's warming up, and Halter returns to the dugouts. Two-one count, 2-away, base is empty. Hendon's last outing was 2 innings against the A's. 1 hit, no runs, no walks, striking out 1. He's looking for his 2nd strikeout here in this game. That last one is 13th of the season through now 13 1/3. Fly ball into right center field. Jiminian is going to dive for it. It goes under his glove, and the Will Collins Foxes have their first of the day. Terosian backs him up. But it'll be a 2-out double for Landon Irvin after striking out in his first at-bat. Is now 1 for 2. First base runner since the 2nd inning when they led off the inning with a walk. Then Rose struck out 3 in a row to leave him at first. Jack Munsell to the box. The right fielder 0 for 1 today with a strikeout swinging. Ground ball goes to the right side. Brown makes a nice play at first base and tosses it underhand to his pitcher. And the nice play from the Sooner ends the 5th inning. Larks keep the Fort Collins Foxes off the board yet again. Rose turns the ball over to Hendon, and to the 6th we go. Larks up by 2. Top half of the sixth, and we'll lead things off with the sixth man in the lineup, Palmer Hutchison, 0 for 2 in the day with a fly out and a ground outs. The Foxes ended the no-hitter in the last inning, getting a double against Hendon, but then Hendon got a ground out to Brown to end it. Hutch looking for his first hit of the day. It's still Jackson Lund on the bump for the Foxes. He will go from the stretch. Called strike here to Hutchison. Brown on deck, Ronson in the hole for the Larks. Hodge flew out to Attell and grounded out to Fleckner in his first two at-bats. This delivery will be off the dirt on the line of the right-hander's batter's box. 3 balls and a strike. Hitters counts for the third baseman out of Kansas City, Kansas Community College. Pitch number 5 of the at-bat is going to be cranked to left field. That one is going to be a solo home run for Palmer Hutchison. Hit that one really strongly between the 335 markers and 352 markers. And will hit his 6th home run of the season. He is leading the team in home runs. Picked up RBI number 22 and run scored number 16. Larks go up 3-0 thanks to the Hayes, Kansas native. Palmer Hutchison now with 8 home runs in his Larks career.
First baseman number 28, Kate Brown.
Larks get their first hit since the 4th inning off of Hutchison's first hit. Touches them all and scores the Larks' 3rd run of the day. Ground ball rolls to the second baseman, Mata Lloyd. And that'll be a Cade Brown ground out, his 2nd of the day.
Left fielder.
One away, base is empty. For Hunter Rawson, 1 for 1 today with a single and a hit by pitch. Top of the 6th, Hayes up 3-0. One away, base is empty. Larks have now hit 23 home runs this season. 11 of those have come from either Hutchison or LaRue. Nice play from the shortstop Fleckner, and Hunter Rawson will ground out and be out for the first time today, 2 away. Game moving at a really quick pace. We're just about an hour and 20 minutes into action here, already in the top half of the 6th inning with 2 outs. Still Jackson Lund on the bump. Now with just his 2nd earned run of the day. He's only given up 3 earned runs in his last 14 2/3 on the mound. He's in the 70s for the pitch count today. He will get a called strike on Ferenzi. 0-2 counts for the Melbourne native. Hutchison led off the inning with that home run that was just well struck and knew it off the bat right away. Off speed hangs in the air a little too long and gets Ferenzi his first hit since the 4th inning, his 2nd single of the ball game. 2-out base hit, Lark's 7th hit of the ball game. Ferenzi with his 17th hit as a Lark. 12 of them singles, 4 doubles, and a home run for the middle infielder out of Arizona Western. Showing bonus, Tanner Rice. He pulls back as it misses outside. 1-0 counts for the UTA Maverick, who just got a new head coach today. And it's a assistant from Oklahoma, so Rice is talking to Braden Lucart and Cade Brown about him today. Since those two played for him at OU. Then Rice, Marshall, and Roslin had a team meeting today with the new coach. Check over at first. Not in time. So Rice will be playing for Clay Van Hook next summer or next spring, as he's playing for Frank Leo, the Larks head coach this summer. And check over at Frenzy, not in time. 2 balls, no strikes to the man who's 1 for 3 today with a couple of flyouts, 1 to right, 1 to center, and a single and a run scored. Check swing, he fouls it to the high backstop. Scoreboard here reads 2-1. Line to give him the okay from the umpire to go again, and he will go from the stretch. Throw it at the feet of Rice. 3-1 goes the counts. Jiminian on deck, Tarosian in the hole. Despite only scoring 3 runs to the first 5 2/3, Larks are at the top of the order, and it's Rice's 4th plate appearance. So they're moving through the lineup. They've left 6 on as Rice will be aboard on the walk. The second walk of the day, the first since Dylan Dryling's walk in inning number 2. 2 on, 2 outs. Rice with his 14th walk of the summer. Rice and Tarosian tied for the team lead in walks, each with 14. Larks have walked 105 times this summer. Swing and a miss here from Jiminian. He'll go down 0-1 quick. A couple of pop outs today. 1 to Jamison at first base. 1 to the shortstop Fleckner, who glided into right center. But then Jiminian singled in inning number 3. He hits this one hard to the left side, but it's going to be fouling out of play. Hope to get that one in fair territory, because if it was fair, with that swing and the power that he has, could have been the second home run of the inning. But instead, it was plenty foul here in Fort Collins. Larks have hit the ball really well in Colorado. They've won 3 straight games here in the States and have hit quite a few home runs, as Jiminian will be struck out to end the 6th inning. Larks get a home run from Palmer Hutchison to extend their lead to 3, and will go to the bottom of the 6th, up by 3. Bottom of the 6th, bottom of the order for the Fort Collins Foxes. Dylan Hupfer will check his swing and fouled over to the right side to the Larks dugout. 0-1 goes the count. Sam Hendon returns for his second inning after replacing Rose in inning number 5. One ball, one strike. Larks have the southpaw now moving in the pen for Collins' bullpen empty. Two one as Harp yells some encouragement out of the dugout for Sam Hendon. Umpire held up 1-2, and then Hupfer said, "What?" And then umpire goes, "My bad." 2-1. Pitch number 4 of the inning for Hendon is going to be grounded to Ferenzi. He fields it cleanly and throws to first. Brown reaches low for it and gets the outs.
Shortstop, number 3, Henry Fleckner.
Hupfer now 0 for 2 with a ground out to Rice and a ground out to Ferenzi, both in the middle of the infield. One away, bases empty. Larks up 3-0 over the Fort Collins Foxes. Henry Fleckner will go to the box. He's 0 for 2 with a flyout and the ground outs. Fleckner out of Tufts University is a Massachusetts native and sends this one to the backstop. 0-1. A tall on deck Matt Lloyd in the hole for Fort Collins. Friday night baseball in northern Colorado. Larks looking to get their 17th win of the summer. Larks will take on the Collegians tomorrow. Rough Riders on Sunday. Outlaws on Monday. Catch all the games right here on Larks Network. 1-0 home, good pitch from Hendon. Goes to the knees, 1-1. The Foxes' last to win was 2 weeks ago today against the Outlaws, and they beat them 10-2. Ground ball is going to go to the third base coach, and we will go 1-2 at the counts. This one's going to be grounded to the left side again. This time Hutchison will field it in fair territory and throw across the diamond for the second out. Both ground outs to the left side of the field. Fleckner now 0 for 3. And the Fort Collins Foxes are down by 3, down to their final 10 outs at the plates. Tyler Atoll to the box. He is 0 for 2. Was the second out of the bottom of the first, bumping out to Rice. Then was Brady Rose's 6th strikeout of the day in the 4th inning. Ground ball goes to the middle. Tanner Rice makes a nice backhanded stop and throws to first in time. A 1-2-3 inning for Sam Hendon. Larks' 4th 1-2-3 inning defensively. They've only had 2 innings where they've gone above it, where they faced just 4 batters, and they will keep the Fort Collins Foxes off the scoreboard. To the 7th we go. Hayes up by 3. Top of the 7th, Jack Terosian will lead things off for the visiting Larks and take one below the zone. 1-0 counts for the right fielder, batting third in the order. He is 0 for 3 today. Struck out in the first, flew out to Hupfer in left field in the third, and flew out to a tall and center in the 5th. 1 ball, 1 strike for Terosian. LaRue on deck for the Larks, Dreiling in the hole. First 2/3 of the game taking about just 90 minutes. Call a strike over the inside low corner. Maybe it was a ball. It was close. Umpire yelled out something sounded like strike, but I wasn't looking up. Pitch number 4 will be low. Marks up 3-0, and it's a 3-1 count. Oh, dangerous hitter's count for a dangerous hitter. Still Jackson Lund on the mound. He's thrown 6 innings, given up 2 walks, 7 hits. 3 runs have scored. Only 2 of them have been earned. He's left 7 on, and he will walk his 3rd batter of the day. And Jack Terosian aboard for the first time. And we will get a mound visit here in Fort Collins. Terosian at first. LaRue at the plate. Larks up by 3. LaRue at the plates, looking for his first hit of the ball game. He reached on an error in inning number 2, and we'll take a called strike here in inning number 7. He scored the opening run of the day for the Larks off the Cade Brown sacrifice fly back in the 2nd inning. Larks have scored in innings 2, 3, and 6. He hits this one well to left center, but Huffer is going to move in front of the 352 marker in left center and get the first out. Terosian back to first base. It just shows the kind of pop that LaRue has. It didn't look like his best swing of the season, but he still was able to hit it out in the grass. 1 away. Terosian at first for Dylan Dreiling, who's 1 for 2 on the day. A walk and a single for him with a run driven in. Terosian will take off. He's leading the team in stolen bases. A good throw from Irvin will get him out. That was an absolute dime for the catcher. Irvin, the Henderson State catcher, throws at Jack Terosian. That's a feat that no other catcher has been able to accomplish this season. 2 away now. Base is empty. Before that, Jack Terosian was 14 of 15 in stolen base attempts, but the caught stealing wasn't from a catcher. It was a pickoff attempt that went down as a caught stealing when he took off for second while they threw to first. 1-1 home will be outside to Dreiling. 2-1. Dreiling drove in his 22nd run of the season back in inning number 3 off that base hit and has a 3-1 hitters count. Righty up in the pen for the Foxes. Nobody thrown in the pen for Hayes as I see through a tree Jackson Halter walk back to the dugout after warming somebody up. Hard cuts from Dreiling. He won't make contact. 3-2 goes the counts. Larks put the 2 Hayes guys back-to-back in the order yet again. as Hutchison is on deck. Cade Brown is in the hole. Payoff pitch will be outside, and Dylan Drowling will be aboard on his 10th walk of the season, his second of the day. 2 walks in this inning for the Larks. Runner on first with 2 outs. Hutch started the day out 0 for 2 with a fly and a ground out, but then hit a solo shot to left field to start off the 6th inning. Sends this one opposite field. It flies into right field. Moncel moves close to the red, white, and blue chalk line in right field, and will get the out right by it. Larks walk twice in the 7th inning, but go scoreless for the first time since inning number 5. Into the bottom half we go. Larks up by 3. We're through the 7th inning stretch here in Fort Collins. Caleb Meredith will take over on the mound and be the 3rd pitcher of the day for the Larks, and he misses above the zone. A 1-0 count here to the 3-hole Tyler Montaloid, who is 0 for 2 on the day with 2 strikeouts against Brady Evans. Good pitch, misses just inside. 2-0. Caleb Meredith out of the University of Tennessee is making his 8th appearance on the Larks. Has thrown 15 innings. Has 3 starts, given up 9 hits, 7 earned runs, 4 walks, striking out 10 as an ERA, sitting at 4.20 flat. 2 balls and a strike here to the second baseman, who's 3rd in the order out of Coppin State. He sends one to deep left field. Rawson is moving back. He is at the warning track, looking up, and it's going to be a solo shot to start the 7th. And the Frogs get aboard for the first time today. And Caleb Meredith has given up a few home runs this season. As to the total, that is his 4th given up in 15 innings. Foxes broke the no-hitter in the 5th inning and get their 2nd hit of the day here in the 7th. Mata Lloyd gets his first hits, and the Larks are up by 2. Takes us to the cleanup man, Henry Jamison, 0 for 1 today with a walk. Meredith delivers home, misses outside, 1-0 counts. This one's hit to right field, but Jack Terosian won't have any trouble getting to it. And that'll be the first out of the 7th. Run away for the 5-hole, Connor Jeffers. He's 0 for 2, struck out swinging and looking against Brady Rose. Was the last batter that Rose got to retire before he went with Sam Hendon. That home run from Tyler Mata Lloyd was his 2nd of the summer. His 11th hit. Drove in his 8th RBI this season and scored his 9th run. 1-2 count here to Connor Jeffers. He's a third baseman out of Northeast Nebraska Community College. Southpaw to Chucky, Tennessee, delivers home and misses the zone 2-0. Meredith's last appearance was on Wednesday against the Junction City Brigade, which was the Larks' last game, and they won 4-1. He threw 2 innings, no hits, no runs, no walks, striking out 2. That was a good game. Larks were pretty close with them. They let Junction take the lead in the 6th. We're down 1-0, and then we went to the bottom half of the 7th. Larks scored 2, and then in the 8th, Garrett Grohl in the second game of the Larks sent a 2-run home run to left field that was absolutely crushed, and the Larks went on to win it. It was Luke Terbeek's last game as a Lark for the summer. Meredith just struck out Jeffers looking. He's now been hat-tricked. 2 strikeouts looking, 1 swinging. Meredith's 11th punch-out of the year. 2-way. The Foxes down to their final 7 outs, down by 2. This game much closer than the Larks last time with the Foxes when Hunter Parker threw a complete game shutout against them, winning 8-0. And then the first time the teams met up, the Larks run-rolled them 12-2. 1-1 count to Jackson Lund, who has been the pitcher through the first 7 innings. I will be surprised if they bring him out for the 8th. They brought in the guy from the bullpen. Lund at the plate is 0 for 2 with 2 strikeouts swinging. Pop fly to the right side. Jack Terosian drifts right, now corrects and goes back and left and gets out number 3 in the glove after allowing the leadoff home run. He gets a couple of flyouts to right field, and Meredith strikes out his 11th of the season. To the 8th we go. Larks looking for some insurance runs, up by 2.
What we do here is go back.
Top of the 8th, the Oklahoma grad, Caleb Brown will lead things off. He is 0 for 2 today with the sacrifice fly. Driving in Tyler Rue. He sends a pop fly down the right field line, and Monsell make a sliding catch, sliding across the red, white, and blue chalk, and get Caleb Brown out on one pitch here in the 8th inning. It's still Jackson Lund on the mound. We'll see how long they rock with their righty out of Purdue Northwest. He's really throwing a good game against a very talented Larks offensive arsenal. Larks have scored a ton of runs this year. They have scored now 200 through 22 games, but Lund has done one of the best jobs we've seen from an opposing pitcher. Pump fly from Hunter Rawson goes into right field. This time Monzel will drift in, and Rawson will now be 1 for 3 with a hit by pitch and a single. 2 ways we go to the bottom of the order in the top half of the 8th. Ben Ferenzi, he's 2 for 3 with 2 singles and a flyout. Starting off 0 for 1, flying out to Hutfer and left, and then it's gotten aboard in innings 4 and 6 on base hits. Looks to keep the 8th inning alive, and we'll be down the count, no balls and a strike after the called strike. Down 0-2, sends a pop fly out of play. Do it for the Foxes. It's going to be the bottom 3 in the order. In the bottom of the 8th, Irvin, Monsell, and Hupfer. Oh, 2 high and inside. Ferenzi spins out of the box, and we'll go 1-2. Larks looking for their 5th win over Fort Collins in the past 2 years. They'll have a chance to take them on again on July 14th. First game of a 3-game series at Larks Park. First pitch at 7 p.m. just like all home Larks games, so be sure to come out or check out the game on Larks Network. 1-2 counts for Ben Ferenzi. Found this one to the left side on the ground. Now a southpaw up in the pen for the Fort Collins Foxes. 1-2 home, swung on a miss, and Jackson Lund will strikeouts. Ben Ferenzi. Larks go 1-2-3 in the 8th off of a couple flyouts to right and a strikeout. They'll look to keep Fort Collins to just 1 run as Caleb Meredith returns for his 2nd inning as we go to the bottom of the 8th. Hayes up by 2. Bottom of inning number 8, Meredith will face off Landon Irvin to start off the inning. Gets him to swing above 1 and miss really low. We'll go up 0-1 with the counts. Irvin struck out against Rose in the 2nd inning. That was just Rose's 4th strikeout on the day. He finished with 8. And then he doubled against Sam Hendon in inning number 5. This one grounded down the left field line. Hutchison chases it, but it is in foul territory. Meredith up 0-2 in the counts. Fox down to their final 6 outs, down by 2. We're at the 7-man in the order. Monsell on deck, Hupfer in the hole. Defense straight up for the Larks, so it's the same way we started. This ground ball left again. Filling to run in the outfield, Rawson, Jiminian, Terosian. Hutchison at third base, Ferenzi at shorts. Tanner Rice at second base, Cade Brown at first. Tyler LaRue behind the plate. Meredith, the Larks' third pitcher of the day. Brady Rose got the starts, went 4 1/3, throwing 64 pitches, no hits, no runs, 1 walk, striking out a season-high 8. Sam Henyon came in and threw 1 2/3, picked up mid at bat from Rose, gave up 1 hit, a double, no walks, no runs, a strikeouts. Now Caleb Meredith has thrown 1 inning, gave up a home run, and struck out 1 in the last inning. But after that home run, responded with 3 straight outs. 2 balls, 2 strikes. As the Larks have a righty in the pen, I believe it is Kobe Grimsley. Swan will send Landon Irvin to first base.
Right fielder number 16, Jack Monsell.
Takes us to the 8-hole Jack Munsell, who is 0 for 2 today. Struck out against Rose and grounded out to Cade Brown in Rose's last 3rd inning. That was the 5th. Tying run at the plate in the bottom of the 8th. Nobody out. Nice pitch. Called strike 1. Munsell, the right fielder, out of Newman. School outside of Wichita. He's a Fort Collins native. Sends a pop fly back. 0-2 goes the counts. Oh, 2 counts. Irvin at first, Hupfer on deck, Fleckner in the hole. Swing and a miss. Meredith will strike out his 2nd of the day. This one on 3 pitches. The throw down to first. Not in time. Meredith going up against Hupfer, who's grounded out to Ferenzi and grounded out to Rice in his first 2 at-bats. Watches this one miss the zone. 1 ball, no strikes. We're at the bottom of the order. It's the left fielder out of Fort Hays State University. Meredith looks at the runner at first, throws a fastball outside. Larks have won 3 straights. They've won 2 straight league games, winning 4 of their last 5 games on the season, looking for win number 17 and a win tonight with time with Liberal for the Rocky Mountain Baseball League if Liberal doesn't get a win tonight. 3-0 counts. Four-pitch walk for Dylan Hupfer, and the tying run is at first. Go ahead at the plates.
Shortstop number 3, Henry Fleckner.
Meredith has hit a batter and walked 1 in this inning. That is his 5th walk of the season. And pitching coach Keith Harper is going to go out and have a chat with Caleb Meredith. Two on, 1 out. Top of the order, Henry Fleckner. He's 0 for 3 today with a flyout and a pair of groundouts. Meredith misses on the 5th straight pitch. 1-0 count. He struck out Munsell in 3 pitches, and then the next at bat walked Hupfer on 4. You can hear Keith Harper yelling out encouragement from the dugout to the southpaw at Chucky, Tennessee. Meredith delivers home, gets a line drive to the backstop. 1-1 goes the counts. For Collins, 2 hits today. They walked 1, scored 1 run. That was off the solo shot from Tyler Lloyd, who's in the hole right now, and they've left 2 on base. Meredith, curveball outside, 2-1. Righty in the bullpen for the Larks, lefty in the bullpen for the Foxes. Irvin at seconds, Huffer at first. This one's going to be hit to right field. Jack Tarosian just takes a couple steps to the right and will throw to third, and will be cut off by the Larks for Renzi, as Irvin wasn't running. 2 away in the 8th. 2 away to the 2-hole, Tyler Atoll, who's 0 for 3. Popped out to Rice in the 1st. Struck out for the 6th strike of the day for Brady Evans to lead off the 4th, and then grounded out to Rice in inning number 6 to end the 6th inning. Was out number 2 in inning 1, out number 1 in inning 4, and out number 3 in inning 6. LaRue sets up outside, and Meredith delivers it right there over the outside part of the plate. Called strike 1 here to the center fielder out of Bates College. He's a Los Angeles native. Called strike 2 over the outside part of the plate, and I don't think Tatal liked the call. Do it for the Larks in the 9th inning. Top 3 of the order, Rice, Jeminian, and Tarosian. (0-2) popped up. Cade Brown will move into foul territory, takes a couple steps there, and records the outs in the grass, or on the dirt, by first base. So the Larks get the Foxes lead their 3rd and 4th base runners on today, and will take a 2-run lead to the 9th here in Fort Collins.
Where I'll be rooting for the Hayes Larks. All of my friends are gonna be there too. Nothing in the world I'd
Top of the
rather
9th.
do than grab
Top of the order for the Larks, it is Tanner Rice. First pitch to him, misses low. Rice 1 for 3 today with a walk and a single and a run scored. It is still Jackson Lund on the mound. They're going to try to get him to throw his second straight complete game. Line to the third baseman, Jeffers. He reaches forward on a dive, but Tanner Rice will send it off his glove into left field and have a leadoff single, his second hit of the ball game. Well struck. Jeffers just couldn't handle the velo off the bats. And Rice is back at first base for the third time today. Leo Geminian will strut to the plate. He is 1 for 4 with a single. Back in inning number 3, he shows bunt and it goes backwards. Terosian on deck, LaRue in the hole for the Larks. Looking to add some insurance runs. Frank Leo gives the signs to Geminian and Rice. We'll see if Rice is running or if Geminian tries to lay down a second bunt. Jeffers adjusts. He's playing in at third base. Jamison holding Rice on at the other corner. And the 0-1, Geminian shows bunt, pulls back. It's a fastball that runs outside. 1-1 goes the counts. Lights on here in Fort Collins. Geminian shows bunts, but the move will be made to first base. The pickoff attempt not in time. Rice scored on the Dylan Dreiling single in inning number 3. Walked in the 6th, but didn't get past first base. He starts to take off. Geminian bunts one down to first base coach Andy Luton. And no more bunts on the table for him. He's down the count. No balls, or 1 ball, 2 strikes. Larks on a stretch of 5 straight road games, 4 in Colorado, 1 against the A's and Dodge. Games over the next 3 days, Tuesday off, then back in action on Wednesday. 1-2 home, swing and a miss. Geminian will strike out in his second straight at bat and be the first out of the 9th inning. Jack Terosian to the box. He's 0 for 3 with a strikeout, a fly-out to Huffer and a fly-out to Atoll. Then he walked in the 7th inning and was thrown out stealing. Headed for second base. First time a catcher's thrown him out all year. He still leads the team in stolen bases with 14. Rice is taken off. Terosian is swinging. The hit and run doesn't work. It's going to be a foul ball, and Rice will move back to first base. Larks really haven't tried to hit and run a ton of times this year, but it's gone both ways for them. Where it's working, they also got doubled up the other day on a hit and run on a fly ball. Check over at first is not in time. Fort Collins has had 3 different pitchers in the bullpen. Now they have a righty up there, but they are still rocking with Jackson Lund with 1 out in the 9th inning. No balls, 2 strikes here to Terosian. Delivery outside. Lund at 115 pitches on the day. Stone strikes on 64% of his pitches. Don't know how his college coach would feel about Isaac Weinberg making him throw into the hundreds. Two counts. Terosian went down 0-2 and is now at a 2-2 count, and will swing and check swing on this one, but it'll be enough for his second strikeout of the day. Larks look to not leave Rice at first base, but they have 2 outs as LaRue comes to the plate. LaRue 0 for 4 with a couple of pop-ups, a fly-out, and then he reached on an error in inning number 2. And came around to score the Larks' first run of the day. Larks scoreless since the 6th inning. They scored a run in each of innings 2, 3, and 6. Slider catches the outside part of the plate. LaRue nods his head, and we'll go down the count 0-1. Rice starts to take off, and then LaRue fouls this one off of Irvin again. Irvin's taking a lot of foul balls behind the plate tonight. Oh, 2 count to tonight's catcher. He'll miss above the letters, 1-2. Lund was hoping for another strikeout right there, didn't get it. Hops off the mound. Would have been strikeout number 6, but he doesn't get it. He's given up 8 hits, 4 walks, left 8 guys on, giving up 2 earned runs, 3 runs have scored on him. Pitch number 121 is going to be grounded to Fleckner, and the Larks, after a leadoff single, will go scoreless for the 3rd straight inning. So bottom of the 9th we go. Larks lead by 2. Larks turn to the bullpen for the 9th inning. They will bring out Kobe Grimsley in a save situation. He pitched on Wednesday against the Brigade and threw 2/3 of an inning, but gave the ball over to Luke Terbeek because Luke had to go back to the Netherlands, so we were going to send him out to right. And it was a really cool moment at Larks Park to see the community and all the guys on the team support Luke in his 2nd summer with the Larks. That 2nd summer again that was ended prematurely. But Luke knew that family comes before baseball, which is absolutely right, and so we wish him the best, and we're excited to see where his career goes. 2-1 count for Tyler Mata-Lloyd, who led off the 7th inning with a solo home run. Kobe Grimsley had a save situation against Liberal on the 23rd, threw a 1/3 of the inning, and then turned it over to Sam Hendon, who closed out the game and got the save in a very clutch outing. Grimsley has a beautiful pitch, catch the outside low corner, couldn't have placed it better. 2-2 goes the counts. The Atoka, Oklahoma native will hit the leadoff man of the 9th inning, and the tying run comes to the plate. Henry Jameson comes to the plate. He's 0 for 2 with a couple of outs recorded by Jack Terosian in right field, then he walked in inning number 2. The lone walk on the day from Brady Rose. Grimsley misses the zone here. 1 ball, no strikes. Grimsley without any earned runs in his first 3 outings, and just had 1 against the Rough Riders in his start that went 5 innings when he picked up his win. Ground ball goes to the left side. Palmer Hutchison will kick it around, and it'll be the second base runner of the inning. Tying run at first. Go ahead run comes to the plates. That was a tough play. I'll give him the benefit of the doubt of a single. Connor Jeffers to the plate. He has had a rough day at the dish. 0 for 3 with 3 strikeouts. 2 against Rose, 1 against Kayla Meredith. Larks left 2 on in the 8th. And I'd like to do so again here in the 9th. Nobody out, 2 on in a 2-run ball game. Showing bunts here is Ryland Hutchison, pinch hitting for the third baseman. Hutchison out to Rose Holman. He's a Fort Collins native. Shows bunt again. The 1-0 delivery is going to be bunted left side, placed well, but Kobe Grimsley, an experienced fielder, comes off the mound, gets to it really quickly, and gets the throw to first in time, but it puts both runners in scoring position here in the bottom of the 9th with 1 away. Larks really kind of cruised through the opening of the season after going to Great Bend and losing game 1. They lost to the game day Angels, but after that it was just in between those games, and after that, before going to Liberal, it was just taking on the Cannons. It was really a dominant season for the Larks, who won quite a bit of games and run ruled a lot of them. And now they've seen a string of close ball games. Pressure's on here, bottom of the 9th. 0-1 counts to Jackson Lund, the pitcher, who is in danger of throwing his second straight complete game loss. He is 0 for 3 with 2 strikeouts and a flyout. Pops this one up over the right side. Cade Brown is in foul territory. Is at the wall, and it'll drop foul. And I'm not sure that's I'm not sure that's a bad thing that it dropped foul. Cade Brown was at the wall. He was going to have to reach over and grab it, then try and spin around and throw it a tough angle home, with Montaloid at third. And that might have scored a run and advanced Jamison to second. So we will stay with runners on second and third. 1 away. Larks up by 2. With Jackson Lund at the plate. No balls, 2 strikes, 1 away. Oh-2 grounded to Tanner Rice. He will throw to first base, and a run will score on the ground out. Tying run at the plate, or at third base. Go ahead at the plate. Tyler Montaloid has scored both runs for the Foxes today. That is his 10th of the season. He is 4th on the team in runs scored. 2 away, runner at third base. Larks up 3-2. We're at Landon Irvin, who is 0 for 1 today, 1 for 2 with a strikeout, a double, and a hit by pitch in innings 2, 5, and 8 respectively. 0-1 counts. Monceau on deck, Hupfer in the hole. This is going to be a foul ball sent to the backstop. For Collins, going to have to protect the plate. 0-2 counts to the catcher. Crowd feels the pressure here at Fort Collins. Grimsley sets up and goes from the stretch. The 0-2 home popped up, and it'll be out of play, and we will stay 0-2 and get a 4th pitch of the AB. And they will tie the game up here in the bottom of the ninth. It's a base hit between Rice and Brown. And Kobe Grimsley will be credited with his first blown save of the season. Irvin has a clutch hit with 2 strikes on him and is calling for a courtesy runner as the catcher. And we are tied up 3-3 in the bottom of the ninth. 2 earned runs for Grimsley. That's 4 on the year. Fort Collins hasn't won a game since the 17th. That was 2 weeks ago today. Go ahead run at first base in the form of Ryland Hutchison. Jack Munsell to the plate. He's 0 for 3. Grimsley was 1 strike away from ending the game. Instead, I think we're looking at extras. Throw down to first. Brown, a nice save. Diving for, putting his body on the line to keep the ball from rolling to the grass. 2-0 count here to the right fielder, Munsell. I believe if this game does go to the 10th inning, it will be the Larks' first extra inning game of the season. 2-1 after we get a called strike. Do it for the Larks in what would be the 10th inning. Dreiling, Hutchison, and Brown. We can get the lead back. Swing and a miss. 2-2 goes the count, and the crowd let out a collective "oh." Disappointed with the result of the swing. 0-2 home is going to be a tough call that goes in the favor of the Larks. Munsell smiles at the umpire. We'll be back to the dugout on strikes. Fort Collins gets 2 runs off of Kobe Grimsley, and they tie the game at 3. All as the Larks put a southpaw up in the pen. We're going to extras. Top half of inning number 10, Dylan Dreiling will lead things off after the Foxes tie the game up in the bottom of the ninth, 3 apiece. 1-0 count here to Dreiling. He is 1 for 2 today with a pair of walks, a single, and an RBI. It is still Jackson Lund on the mound. That last pitch was his 124th on the day. 1-1 count here to the DH out of Hayes, Kansas. Hutchison on deck, Brown in the hole. We were working on a good tempo. It was looking like we were going to get out early and go eat. And when I was excited, that was a quick game. We loved those. I've been hungry since the first inning, but we will play on and get some free baseball here in Fort Collins. Not that Larks Network has ever had a price. It's all free when you're watching Larks Network, but we're in the 10th inning. It's a 1-2 count to Dylan Dreiling. 1-2 outside, 2 balls, 2 strikes. Dreiling aboard in 3 of his 4 plate appearances today. Lund delivers home. Will miss close to the feet of Dreiling, and we will get a full count. Dreiling goes down 1-2 and works himself into a full count. Dillon has struck out 8 times this season, walked 10 times. Has also picked up 18 hits. Payoff pitch is home. He's going to stay alive. Defense straight up, big gap in left center field for Dreiling. And the payoff pitch is home. He sends it into center field. Running back is a tall. He will leap forward, and it'll be over his head. Dreiling rounds first, heads for second, and have a stand-up double. I would be surprised if the Larks leave Dreiling on the base paths, as he kind of looked not like himself running around first base after re-injuring his hamstring in Liberal, and they will bring in Austin Jaslove to pinch run for him. So Tennessee Volunteer runs for the other Tennessee Volunteer, and I think this will be a day for Jackson Lund. Isaac Weinberg goes out to the mound and is talking to him, Dreiling with his second hit of the ball game. And we will stay with Jackson Lund. He's going to throw into his arm, falls off. Dreiling's 9th double of the season. His 12th extra base hit. That was a long at bat for a guy who's already thrown 120 plus pitches. Leadoff double. Jaslove now at second base for Dylan Dreiling. Hutch to the box. He is 1 for 4 in the day with a solo shot. Lund spins around and tells the new second baseman Hutchison to be closer to second base so we can try and keep Jaslove honest. Inside delivery to Hutch, 1-0. Lund has already seen what Hutchison can do at the plates. Might be a little bit more cautious pitching him here in the 10th inning. Lund now in the 130s on the pitch count. Sees a pop fly over to the right side. Brown on deck, Rawson in the hole for Hayes. The 1-1 delivery from Lund is going to go from the stretch and miss outside. 2 balls and a strike here. Hutchison has flown out to the outfield twice, Atoll in center and Munsell in right, and then he grounded out to Fleckner in inning number 3. He will send a ground ball hard at Hutchison, who scoots it between his legs, but Jaslove moves up into third base, 90 feet from getting the Larks to lead back. Larks dugout yells at Cade Brown to bring him in. He already has driven in 1 today. It was a sacrifice fly back in inning number 2. Since then, he is 0 for 3. 1 away, runner at third base. Top of the 10th. Lund delivers home. Fly ball over the right side. Foul. Larks have a southpaw up in the pen. Guessing from here, but I think it is Braden Lucarts. Slider outside, 2-1. One ball, one strike here to the first baseman out of OU. He had a good defensive play in the last inning and watches this one miss the zone. 2-1. Looking to get for his first hit of the day and driving his first run since the second inning. Call strike 2. On paper, this should have been a blowout for the Larks. Foxes 3-14, Larks 16-5. Foxes haven't won a game in 2 weeks. Larks in second place in league play. They're on a 3-game win streak. Foxes have been outscored 158-99 this season. Larks have outscored their opponents 197-93. Round stays alive, and we will stay 2-2 with the counts. Jaslove has speed. Doesn't need to be horribly deep in the outfield for a sacrifice fly. The infield is all creeped in, and the 2-2 is popped up again. Brown continues to work Jackson Lund. Jackson Lund approaching 140 pitches on the day now. The game changer is not updating, so I know we're creeping up on there. I'm not sure if we're there yet or not. 2-2 outside. Brown makes Lund have another full count in the inning. Last payoff pitch he threw was a double. Payoff pitch is home. Brown stays alive, pops it up again. Jackson Lund threw a complete game in his last outing, was credited with the loss. 5 runs scored on him, but only 1 of them was earned. And he will miss above the letters. Thought he had the strikeouts and is very upset that he didn't get the call. And Larks will look to take advantage of that emotion and get in his head. He is frustrated walking on the mound. He's loud in the pitch counts, and Frank Liu is going to make him think about it a little longer. Pull Hunter Ross into the side as Lund is walking circles behind the mound. Brown, a really tough pitch to take, but it was worth it. He is going to be aboard on a walk, his 9th walk of the season. There was runners on the corners with 1 out. Rawson 0 for his last 2, but in his first 2 plate appearances, he was hit by a pitch and singled. He shows bunts. Jaslove is going to come in. The tag at home is going to be in time. Larks run the safety squeeze, and it didn't work out. Larks pulled the safety squeeze a couple of years ago to win the Rocky Mountain Baseball League. It was a signature of Frank Liu at Hayes High School, but it doesn't work out here in Fort Collins. 3-0 here in the top half of the 10th. Runners at first and second, 2 away. Rawson reaches on a fielder's choice. Ferenzi sends this one into left center field. 3 guys move towards it. Mattel, the center fielder, calls everybody off and will take us to the bottom of the 10th. We're tied up at 3 here in Fort Collins. Bottom of the 10th here in Fort Collins. Dylan Hupfer at the bottom of the order will lead things off for the Foxes. Grimsley misses inside on his first pitch of the 10th. Had 2 earned runs in the 9th and will go down with a blown save in his first save opportunity. And he will miss low again. 2 balls, no strikes. Still under the 3-hour mark here in Fort Collins. Hupfer 0 for 2 today with a walk and a couple of ground outs. Grimsley throws 3 straight balls here to start off the 10th. Larks continue to have, who I believe is Braden Lukehart, throwing the pen. Grimsley will walk the go-ahead run on 4 pitches. It's now giving up 2 hits. A hit by pitch and a walk through 1 inning on the bump. Top of the order, Hupfer reaches on his second walk. He is at first base with nobody else, and Keith Harper is going to come out of the dugouts and have a chat. Braden Lukehart takes over. Go ahead, run at first base. Nobody out in the bottom of the 10th inning in a 3-all ball game. Out the way, the Larks wanted to start the road trip, throwing 5 pitchers in the first game. And you still got 3 more games over the next 3 days here in Colorado. Chopper goes over the head of Hutchison into left field. And Fleckner reaches on his first hit of the ball game. 2 on, nobody out. Hutchison was playing a little bit too end, and if he was 6'6", probably would have had that, but it'll be runners on first and second, nobody out. The Larks don't want to throw 5 pitchers on the first day of a road trip, but it's what we're forced to do here, and especially when you just lost one of your best pitchers a few days ago. Lukehart's first appearance on the mound since Wednesday, June 15th, where he threw 3 innings in the start against the Rough Riders and had 6 earned runs. Has an earned run in all of his 3 outings prior to this one. And we will go 0-1 with the counts. Lukehart made his debut against the Batcats in Great Bend, threw 1 1/3 and was credited with the loss. Gave up 5 hits, 2 earned runs, 2 walks, and a strikeout. The sophomore out of St. Joseph, Missouri, or Southpaw, delivers. And misses. Gets a swing and a miss, though. 0-2. Just spent his past year at Oklahoma. It was his first year with the Sooners, where his team went to the College World Series and lost in the finals to Ole Miss. 6-foot freshman out of St. Joseph, Missouri. Throws and hits left-handed. Went to Lafayette High School in KC-Mo. Racked up a lot of really good stats and a lot of accolades, especially in his senior year. 0-2 home. It's a pitch to Waste, and he throws a breaking ball outside. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Do it for the Larks. Should there be an 11th inning, it would be at the top of the order: Rice, Germinian, and Tarosian. Hupfer at seconds, Fleckner at first. 1-2, nobody outs. Here in a tie-all ball game in the bottom of the 10th. Breaking ball is cranked to Palmer Hutchison. The line drive. He will throw to Rice at second, trying to double up Hupfer, but Rice wasn't at the bag. Hupfer in safely. Out number 1. Palmer Hutchison able to get this one on the line drive after the chopper went into left field on the previous at-bats. Good reactions for Hutchison, and now Tyler Atoll is having a tough day. He is 0 for 5. Tyler Montaloy to the plate. He is 1 for 3 with 2 strikeouts, a hit by pitch, and a home run. He scored the first 2 runs of the day for the Fort Collins Foxes. First delivery to him, he swings and whiffs at. No balls and a strike. Lukart sets up, looks at both runners a couple of times, goes home the 1-1. It's going to be inside. LaRue blocks it, kicks up some dirt, and sends the count to 1 ball and a strike. Lukart asks for a new ball, and we'll get one for him. Through 5 2/3, Lukart has struck out 6, walked 5. Opponents have hit .407 against him this summer, but he only has a small sample size to look at, and when balls have been put into play, that batting average rises to .474. 1-1 home will miss low, 2 balls and a strike. High and inside, 3-1. Montaloy looking to get aboard for the 3rd time. He has a hitter's count. It's a big pitch coming here from Braden Lukart. Delivery is popped up, and it goes into right field. Jack Tarosian moves in. He will throw down, but the runner will hold up. Ferenzi cuts off the ball and gives his Tarosian props. It would have been a good throw had the runner been taken off, but Hupfer will stay at second base. 2 away, 2 on. It's Henry Jamison, the cleanup man, who has been 1 for 3 in his first 4 plate appearances, along with a walk. The umpire is signaling down the first base line to somebody. Jamison, the first baseman, out of Bates College, is a St. Simons Island, Georgia native. Lines this one to the right side and into the parking lots. No balls, a strike, 2 away. Lukart has allowed a single and gotten a line out and a flyout. If that run should score from second, the loss would be a credit to Grimsley. But Braden Lukart wants to get a win here. Runner takes off to third. The pitch is inside. A good pitch to run on. LaRue had a slide left to protect the ball. Runners move up 90 feet. I really like that move a lot from the Foxes, because you never know what happens when you throw down with the pressure on to third base. Easy to make an errant throw and allow the winning run to score. I would say that actually hits Henry Jamison, and That will load the bases. So coming to the plate is Brendan Jordan out of Log Haven. He's a Longhorn, Pennsylvania native. His first at-bat of the day. The third guy to hit it out of the 5 spot after Jeffers went 0 for 3. Then Hutchison came in, laid down a sacrifice bunt. Now we'll go with him. 1-0 count, bases loaded. 2 outs, bottom of the 10th. The 1-0 from Lucart above the letters. 2 balls, no strikes, and Lucart needs to get one in the zone quick. Rice will jog out to the mound and give some encouragement to Lucart. He did this the other night with Echeverria, but we'll see if it works here. Every base with a man on it. Hupfer at third. Fleckner at second. Jamison at first. 2-0, the southpaw delivers inside. It gets away from Tyler Rue, and the Fort Collins are going to walk off the Hayes Larks and win it 4-3 here on their home field and celebrates. And Kobe Grimsley will be giving the Larks loss. Fort Collins wins it 4-3 here in the bottom of the 10th. Again, that the Larks really should have won. The Fort Collins Foxes haven't won in 2 weeks, and the Larks are going to regret this one for a while because we're going to fall now a full game behind Liberal, and we could have taken over in first place, tying with them for the RMBL lead. Larks fall to 16-6 on the season. They are now 10-3 in league play. A full game back. A 3-game winning streak is snapped. Fort Collins wins for the first time since the 17th. They're now 4-14 in league play and overall. They're still in last place, 9.5 games back. They snap an 8-game losing streak in the streak where they lost 10 of their last 11. Larks lose an embarrassing one here in Fort Collins. But we'll be back in action looking for redemption tomorrow against the Collegians. First pitch at 6:30 p.m. Central Time, 5:30 Mountain Time. Jackson Lund goes a 10-inning complete game, throws 140 pitches to win it, his second win of the season. Dylan Dreiling drives in a run. Kate Brown drives in a run. Rice and LaRue score one as well. Larks lose it here 4-3. We'll see you tomorrow as we take on the Boulder Collegians in Boulder. This has been Carson Ackerman. Thank you for tuning in. We'll see you tomorrow.